excites you about working with entrepreneurs?
Well, entrepreneurs they're just exciting people. Honestly, George, they want to create solutions in the world. And I think I heard this recently that Sir Richard Branson explained this. And people don't they don't start out to be entrepreneurs. What they want to do is actually, as you said earlier, they want to change people's lives. They want to make a difference in the world. And it just turns out that desire, that burning desire to actually add value, becomes a business. It becomes a part of their DNA, if you will. And that's the DNA of an entrepreneur. They're problem solvers. They're professional problem solvers. And we love, Peak Potential just thrives on working with those folks and giving them just the tools to be successful. Because when you combine that burning desire with some really great tools and strategies, you can see amazing things happen. So just by way of an example, we've been doing this work for 12 years, more than, as I say, almost 2 million people. We've had just recently our first billionaire student.
Wow.
Yeah, started an internet company up in Silicon Valley and was sleeping on the floor of his buddy's apartment only 4 years ago, and now he has a $1.3 billion company.
Beautiful.
Pretty
That's
cool.
amazing. So you're not just working with existing entrepreneurs, you're also looking for and helping people that want to be entrepreneurs, that really want to get out of the job, do something fun, exciting, something they're passionate about, and really become successful.
Well, exactly, because the gentleman I was just referring to, he wasn't an entrepreneur when he was sleeping on it. Well, he probably had he had the spirit of an entrepreneur when he was sleeping on his buddy's floor. But really, what he wanted to do was add value, and that's the equation. You have to want that badly, and then you go ahead and apply skills and tools, and before you know it, you're doing it.
I mean, that's so true. As a lot of people think that the millionaires today they inherited money and that's how they got there. They don't realize that 80% of the millionaires are self-made, which means they started with little or no money and they went on to build millions of dollars. So that's really powerful. As I go across the country, I find a lot of people that are having trouble with money. I talked to this woman last week and she said, money is the bane of my existence. My life would be great if I could just handle my money problems, but every time I get a few dollars, I seem to lose it. What do you see as some of the biggest challenges people have in regards to making money and building wealth?
One of the greatest challenges that I've found with people is that they're poor receivers. I know this is going to sound kind of funny, but again, it's a part of the programming. We've all probably heard that expression that it's better to give than to
receive.
Yeah, and that's a part of what we were raised to believe. And the truth of the matter is, for there to be a giver, there also needs to be a receiver. And for there to be a receiver, there needs to be a giver. So it sounds like a 50-50 proposition to me. And what we find is that a lot of people are really not open to receiving. And we work very heavily on that. It's a part of, again, that inner programming that people are often just unaware of. And anything that you're unaware of is really, in driving terminology, it's a blind spot.
Any other things you see that are big challenges for people?
Yeah. We deal with folks who are not doing well, as you say, and we hear a lot of stories about that. So that's one layer, if you will, of folks that we can help. But we also deal with very, very successful people, meaning people that attend our programs are super successful. And what I find with them is that they don't realize that they're bumping their heads up against a set point, is what we call it. Meaning, we talked earlier about this financial thermostat, and we said that thermostat is set at a certain level. So we'll often have people that I'll say, how many of you have a business that is earning more than $1 million, let's say $1 million a year? And we'll have lots of people who raise their hand. And oftentimes I'll simply say to them, so why aren't you earning $5 million? And they have this stunned look on their face, and I'll go, let me ask you another question, because we kind of get a little adamant with them. I'll say, isn't there anybody in your industry right now who's earning $5 million doing what you're doing? And of course, their face, it's like the energy just drains right out of their face because they were feeling pretty good about themselves till then. How about 10 million? The fact of the matter is that if you're not doing as well as you'd like to be, and that's everybody, because we're always in constant, either growing or dying. That's all we're ever doing, right? So if you're not, there yet, there's just something you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, mindset is so important. Because when I ask people, why aren't you, I love that question, why aren't you doing more? I usually tell them, no matter what answer you give, you're going to give me an excuse. Because someone else with your same situation, your same resources, in the same business are making twice as much as you. So anything that you answer is your own mindset. It's your own trap. It's your own limiting belief that's blocking you, and you got to find a way to overcome that. That's why your work is so powerful, because that's the freedom. That's the key.
We actually coach people on this subject because we find that you can have one of two things usually. You can have results or you can have reasons. And the key term there, I'll ask people, what's the most important word? And they'll say, results. The key word is or. They're mutually exclusive. If you've got the reason, we know you didn't get the result. And if you've got the result, you don't need a reason.
Powerful. That is amazing. If you're just joining us, this is George Anton with Willie Hooks, and you're listening to the Banker's Code on the Expert Radio Network. We're talking to Adam Markel, the CEO of Peak Potentials, one of the largest personal development and business training companies in the world. So the great news here is that Adam and I will be touring certain markets, and as part of the roadshow to launch the Financial Freedom Summit. We're excited to be sharing this information to really change people's lives out there. For those people listening, here are some of the cities we're going to be touring: Houston, Dallas, Seattle, San Francisco, Sacramento, and if your city is not mentioned, make sure you visit the website. The website is www.theexpertradionetwork.com, and make sure you sign up because we have very limited seating there and really very limited visits. So make sure you take advantage of this right now. Once again, it's www.theexpertradionetwork.com, and make sure you sign up. Adam, I gotta tell you, this set point is so powerful because someone right now is listening to this and they might be thinking, I'm making enough money. But what you're saying is, challenge yourself and ask yourself, why aren't you making more? Whether you're making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $1 million a year, $10 million a year, it doesn't matter your net worth, right? You're saying, challenge yourself and ask yourself, that's probably your set point, right? And so this really works for people that have little to no savings, or people that are very affluent, right? They can do more, or maybe they're not happy in their lives. There's something out there that you can help with. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I couldn't say it any better than that.
Excellent. So make sure you visit one of our trainings there, our complimentary trainings. Once again, it's www.theexpertradionetwork.com.
I think that's so critical because, let's say if you're